What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another break on this Saturday evening. Right now, I've got the 2025 Bowman Baseball Hobby and Jumbo Dual Case number 6. Pick your team. Going to go ahead and get this shared over to the group, get everybody tagged, and we will go ahead and get started. Andrew having a hard time tagging. If you go by something else on Facebook, let me know. We'll get that tag added. Same thing, Brett. Having a hard time tagging you. Greg having a hard time tagging you. If you go by something else on Facebook, let me know and I'll get that tag added. All right, there we go. Got the tags in there. Yo, what's up, Tim? How are you doing today? All right, bear with me a minute. I'm going to give people time to hop in, but also we got to crack these two big cases here. You can see the bottom of the second one here. Don't worry. I will pull it down for you. All right, let's do it. We better see at least one anime. All right, got the hobbies there. My hand, show that empty case. Get that moved out of the way, then we'll crack the jumbo case. Get things resituated. I don't know why that camera decided to fall down like that. Did I put that? That's my bad. I'll get that fixed. I don't know why I did that. my defense, I just got done doing a football break on Whatnot, so that is where that came from. Still had football on the mind, apparently. I did it once with the Giants, too. All right, let me get these pushed back here. Empty box there. What's up, Brian? How are you doing today? All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Take one more sip of my drink here. All right. Good luck, everybody. I was going to start with the hobbies, but we got the jumbos up front. So we'll just go ahead and start with the jumbos here. 3 autos per box. I'll probably say it a couple times in case we have other people hop on in. But for all the paper first Bowmans, like the big ones, I will just sleeve them and I will top load them after the break. I promise they will all be top loaded, but this is already going to be a lengthy break, so I want to make sure to cut down as much time as I can for y'all. Empty box there. But the difference is ESPN won't admit that they screwed up. I will 100% own that I put that. Here we go with our first pack. We've got a nice Juan Carlos Lara there for the Braves, 23 out of 75. Got a Jesus Lopez for the Rangers here, 27 out of 125. Nice Thomas White there. Like I said, all the paper first Bowmans like that we'll just sleeve and we'll top load after the break. Save y'all a little bit of time. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of them. I kind of wish I hadn't seen this. I wanted the surprise, but this is a banger right here. First auto of the break, going to be a gold 29 out of 50. Ronald Acuna Jr. Hobby Heroes for the Braves. How about that? We'll go ahead and get that one magged up. What a way to start off. I know it's not a massive first Bowman, but I feel like that's a pretty good one. That one going over to Sean. There you go, Sean. Gold Acuna auto out of 50. Congrats on that. Yeah, Hobby Heroes I think is my favorite insert out of this year's set. I just love, got a nice Jesus Mede there. We will get that one top loaded since it's chrome. Oh, heck yeah. I feel like Topps has been. I could be wrong. Maybe not with every product, but the redemptions I've had lately from Topps, they've been fulfilling them pretty dang fast. Another one we'll sleeve and top load after the break. All right, let me get these basement over. I'll hop in the next couple of packs here. Yeah, you would think, but sometimes that makes the players harder because they feel like they have no obligation anymore. Dang, Doug, that's awesome. I'm jealous of that one. As a big Cena fan, I've been loving seeing people's posts of those on social media. I just got some of my Tops Now cards from WrestleMania in, and then the John Cena ones I ordered shipped today. All right, we got an Aaron Estrada here for the Baltimore Orioles. Just pulled that in a blaster break I did over on Whatnot. Interesting to see the same auto, but nice one there for the Orioles. Congrats on that. Going over to Perry. There you go, Perry. I'm hoping to get something or a hit from my Tops Now. I got the Becky Lynch ones back yesterday and did hit an out of 25, so that was pretty cool. Nice Charlie Condon there. Got a nice James Wood there on the Hobby Stars. Hey, Mad Juju works too. Mad Juju works. He's just here to give you a hard time, Brian. Well, I'll try to change that for you, Brian. I'll try to change that. We're gonna do our best for you. Got a Victor Rodriguez here out of 299, 83 out of 299 to be exact for the Dodgers. Got our first red rookie here. It's going to be a nice one. We got James Wood for the Washington Nationals. Tim, it is an Acuna auto out of 50. Got a Joenski Noel there on the red rookie for the Guardians. Then we've got Edglin Perez there for the New York Yankees on the first Bowman auto. Nice one there. That one going over to Doug. There you go, Doug. Got a nice Sammy Hernandez on the Reptilian there. All right, let me get these moved over. We'll hop into box number 2 of 20. Empty box number 2 there. Nice Charlie Condon here on the VIP. Very important prospect for the Rockies. We got our next auto here. Going to be a Cobb Hightower, 46 out of 100 for the Padres. Nice looking card there. Love that signature as well. That one going over to BT. There you go, BT. Nice Padres auto there for you. Congrats on that. Got a Kevin Alcantara there, 250 out of 399 for the Cubs. Yeah, of course. Got a nice Dylan Cruz on the Rookie of the Year favorites. Add that to the top load after the break pile. Yeah, those die cuts are really nice. It's like a fun little like swoop. Got Rhett Lauder there on the Rookie of the Year favorites. Charlie Condone there. Got another nice auto here. We got Mitch Jebb for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I always love when athletes use signatures that fill up the whole space. Yeah, absolutely, Jason. I will for sure shoot you a message. There we go. Going over to Steve Miller. Nice one there, Steve. Congrats on that. We got a Dylan Fiend here, 48 out of 75 for the A's. Nice one there for the Athletics. And then we got E. Smith Pineda here, 231 out of 399 for the Reds. Got the Cruz on the Hobby Star Heroes and Dylan Cruz on the Rockstar Rookies right behind that. Got a 120 out of 150. Eduardo Quintero there. Really nice one for the Dodgers. That is regular tops, Doug. Normal flagships. That one going over to Brett. There you go, Brett. Congrats on that one. Got a Nick York here on the red rookie for the Pirates. And we got a David Festa here for the Minnesota Twins on the red rookie. And the Twins aren't done yet because right behind that we have a Peyton Ellis on the auto for the Minnesota Twins. There we go. Nice one there for the Twins. Got a Ricardo Yan there. That Twins auto going over to Dylan, by the way. Congrats on that one, Dylan. Empty box number 3 there. Got a nice Alex Mooney here for the Guardians, 10 out of 75. We got an Ichiro Kono Hernandez here, 71 out of 125 for the Reds. All right, then we got another nice auto here. Got a 42 out of 50 Jackson Humphreys for the Cleveland Guardians. That one going over to Chris. There you go, Chris. Nice auto out of 50 coming your way. Congrats on that. Get these base moved over here. This is also a good reminder. Time to remind everyone that no vet base ships. If you really, really want it, you can reach out to us. We can work that out with you. But overall, no vet base ships. Not much, because almost everything is a prospect or first Bowman. But always like to remind everybody of that just in case they didn't read the description. Vladdy base? All right, let me write that down for you. All right, got that noted for you, Tim. I always love pulling Adael Amador cards. I know he's not a huge player, especially this current state of the Rockies, but we went to Rockies Fest as a company a couple months back and got to talk to him about how he felt about having his first flagship rookie cards and what it was like to collect his own cards. So always has a special place. Him and Drew Romo, we talked to both of them about it. All right, and we got a Victor Rodriguez auto here for the Dodgers. Nice first Bowman there. That one going over to Brett. There you go, Brett. Congrats on that. Nice Jesus Made there. Got an Aspel Gonzalez there. 214 out of 499 for the Royals. Got a nice Dylan Cruz red rookie there for the Washington Nationals. Yeah, I love that color match. That's the one thing I do enjoy about the Bowman papers. I feel like sometimes the color pops nicer than on the chrome. Just because it's more matte. All right, last pack of this box here. Then we hop into Jumbo box number 4. Almost halfway through the Jumbos. And we still have 12 hobbies after that. We got a Julio Rodriguez there. 69 out of 75 for the Mariners. Right behind that, we got Kumar Rocker there for the Texas Rangers on the red rookie. And we've got a Thomas White auto. We'll go ahead and get that one magged up. That one going over to the Marlins. And Sean. There you go, Sean. We still got time. We still got time. There we go. Congrats on that one. And we got Cam Caminetti there for the Braves. All right. Crack open some more top loaders here, and we'll hop into the next one. Dang, that's cool, Doug. Empty box there. You looking for Charlie, Brian? We've hit a couple Charlies. Couple inserts. Got a nice J.J. Weatherholt out of 75 for the Cardinals. 41 out of 75 there. That one going over to Richard. There you go, Richard. Congrats on that one. You are right. You are right. But at least he's shown up somewhere. It's interesting. I feel like every break I do has a different prospect like that. Like the first break I did of this one, I did the 40 blaster cases. I feel like we hardly saw any Jesus Made and a ton of PJ Morlando. Now I feel like we haven't seen a lot of Morlando yet. Got our next auto here. 148 out of 499. Didier Fuentes there for the Braves. Nice one there for the Braves. Going over to Sean. I was talking about that with someone the other day. I was like, it's wild to me. I totally get why. And he's a great prospect. But it's wild to me to think that the Rockies have the top prospect because with their track record, by the time he actually gets called up to the majors and is good, the Rockies will have wasted him for some 17th round draft pick and a can of Coke. Like, the Rockies are so terrible at keeping good talent. They fired their coach, but I feel like the coach wasn't really the problem. It's the ownership at the Rockies. But I mean, hopefully we're all wrong and he just comes out killing it. Maybe he's the thing the Rockies have been missing. This is crazy. This will blow your guys' minds. Yeah, 100%. So on Monday, a couple of us Iron Lion folks are all going to a Rockies Phillies game together because I got a really good deal on some tickets. They do this thing. I'm sure you guys who are from Colorado have gotten the emails before. It's called Hot Rocks, where they do special deals. So we got 5 field level tickets, like 30 rows up. Cost me $27.50 total for 5 major league field level tickets. That's just insane. Playing the Phillies too, which are not a bad team. If that were some other teams, those tickets would cost like $60, $70 a piece. Another Dylan Cruz there. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. I was like, I'm just going because I miss baseball, not because I'm expecting anything crazy to happen with the Rockies. We're going in expecting them to just be blown out. But can't pass can't pass up a really nice deal on tickets if you can go to a ballpark. All right, we got another mag coming up here. This one going over to the Padres. 446 out of 499. Leo DeVries. There you go, Brian. Congrats on that one. Top international prospect there. I know it's not the Rockies you were looking for, but a really nice auto nonetheless. Yeah, of course. You're right. I remember when I pulled you multiple DeVries in multiple different boxes. You know, that's cool. We've got a baseball factory All-American game. Carter Johnson auto there. 82 out of 199. Nice one there. Look that one up real quick. Okay, that one is going over to the Miami Marlins. And Sean, there you go, Sean. Congrats on that one. I'm going to write that one down. Keep note of it. Got a Quinn Matthews there, 33 out of 75 for the Cardinals. Got Sean Keys here for the Blue Jays, 148 out of 499. Got an Adael Amador there for the Rockies on the red rookie. Then we got Jesus Madej here for the Milwaukee Brewers. Got a Jackson Jobe here for the Tigers, 42 out of 299. And we got a Brooks Lee red rookie behind that for the Minnesota Twins. And we've got our auto here. We've got an Engleth Urena there for the New York Yankees. Another nice auto for the Yankees and Doug. There you go, Doug. Got a nice Jansel Luis there. Empty box there. All right, here we go. We got a nice Rhett Lauder here. That one going to be 29 out of 125 for the Reds on the Rookie of the Year favorite. How about that? We have a Travis Bazzana 3 out of 5 auto for the Guardians. Wow, there you go, Chris. Whoo, that is a banger right there. We're going to get that one magged up for sure. Whew. It's got my adrenaline pumping a little bit, Chris. I'm sure that has your adrenaline pumping. That is an absolute monster. Holy cow. How about that? Congrats. I'm shaking a little bit too, Chris. I'm shaking a little bit too. I'm happy for you, my friend. I promise also, once we get the Jumbos moved, we will have a better mag party situation set up. Wow. I'm happy about that one too because I have not seen a lot of Bazzana autos out of 2025. I've pulled, or like as a company, we've pulled a couple Cagliones, Nick Kurtz, Chase Burns, but I have not seen any Bazzanas personally yet. All right, let me get this moved over. Also love seeing cards like that because I remember one of the first. I'm sure some of you were in it. One of the first dual case breaks I ever did. Topps forgot all of the autos in the jumbos, so we ended up missing like 24 autos. I still have nightmares about it. So not only am I always happy to see the autos we need, but especially big autos like that. It ended up working out. We got a replacement, but yeah, that was not my favorite day ever. All right, then we got another auto coming up here. Going to be a Jared Sundstrom for the Mariners. Really nice, large auto there. There we go. That one going over to Greg. There you go, Greg. Congrats on that. That's one of my favorite things to observe during breaks is how people sign their autos and then possibly watching how it changes throughout the different products. Like, I mean, even Travis Bazana's, it's pretty much the same, but he used to write a little bit more completely. But I'm with you. Those, whenever I see those initial autos, I always joke that they went to the Anthony Richardson school of signing things. I think some of it might be like they're not. It's funny because I'm in my early 20s, so I don't want to sound like back in my day, but I feel like sometimes it's because they're not learning cursive anymore. So they don't necessarily know how to sign their name. But even still, you could figure out something. I think a lot of them just decide it's not worth their time, which is crazy because I don't agree with that at all. But Jancel Villarreal here for the Astros, 51 out of 125. Yeah, 100%. Well, and I know, so like my main hobby is collecting autographs, primarily like non-sports memorabilia, but I do dabble in sports memorabilia a little bit. But I know in a lot of private signings, there is now contract requirements that stars sign their full name because a lot of people were paying like a lot of money for private signings, and then stars were signing what they call their red carpet signature, which is often initials, if even that. You should see some Al Pacino's. But now, because people are spending like $500, $600 on these autos, it's in their contract, like you said, with their agents, where they have to sign full name. Yeah, which I mean, that's what I was saying. I was like, I don't really believe that. Like, that's the argument a lot of people like to use. Got a Romeo Sanabria there, 58 out of 75. But even if you don't know cursive, it's not that hard to make some signature look nice. It doesn't have to be in cursive. I mean, I stopped. I was like right in the generation. Nice Johnny Level there out of 199 for the Giants. 194 out of 199 to be exact. It is a horrible argument. But I was gonna say I was of the generation right when they stopped teaching cursive, so I only got taught cursive up until third grade, and then they stopped. But I literally, like you said, I went on YouTube and taught myself how to sign cursive. And Brian T, exactly. Brian Thomas has a great signature. Well, I wouldn't say if it's great, but at least he's trying. Yeah, I just went on YouTube to learn enough cursive just to be able to sign my name. So I mean, it does not take long. Got a nice Luis Angel Acuna there for the Mets. It is just a printed name. I think he changed it for a little bit. But then he went back to just Brian T. Got a nice Kadim Dia there for the Minnesota Twins on the auto. That one going over to Dylan. There you go, Dylan. Nice Aaron Escobar there. Hey, we got a Charlie right here. Might be paper, but it's a Charlie. That just means you're going to have an absolute monster in the hobby boxes. Well, I also imagine it kills how much money you can make on your signature because nobody wants to buy into private signings or things like that if your signature's awful. Nice Hurston Waldrip there on the red rookie for the Braves. All right, Tim. I got you. All right, let me get these base moved over. Connor does have a pretty rough one. You should see Matt Damon's signature. I have a couple of his because I am a big Goodwill Hunting fan, and it's not great. But like I said, if you look up some of the stars' street signatures, Quentin Tarantino has kind of a weak one. Al Pacino has a terrible street signature. Empty box there. Cena does have a pretty... At least John Cena's is trying. You can tell that it's JC. I mean, it's not great by any means, but it's... That is a great movie. Got a friend Yeber Montilla there for the Tigers, 190 out of 199. Got a Samuel Basallo here, 66 out of 75 for the Orioles. Matt Damon. All right, we got another auto here. Going to be a Chase Mobley for the Cleveland Guardians. Nice one there for the Guardians. Going over to Chris. There you go, Chris. Another auto coming your way. Having some good luck with these jumbos so far. Exactly. There we go. All right, let me get this base moved over. I don't know if I can beat the Bazana. Adjust my chair here. Nice Fernando Tatis Jr. there. That one going to be 9 out of 125 for the Padres. Yeah, Chris, if you just shoot a message to the Iron Lion shipping page, Doug, 2 more jumbo after this one. If you just shoot a message over to the Iron Lion shipping page on Facebook, they should be able to get that worked out for you. I can go as a go-between too, but I feel like that's the easier way. And then when they come in, they're not here during the weekends, but when they come in on Monday, they will make sure to do that for you. And we've got a Humberto Cruz, 63 out of 299 auto for the Padres. Going over to BT. There you go, BT. Another auto coming your way. Congrats on that one. Nice Rhett Louder there. And a nice Sebastian Walcott here, 76 out of 399 for the Rangers. Got a Caden Dana there for the Angels on the red rookie. Another Charlie Condone there. Two Charlies in one pack. Got a Ben Rice on the red rookie there for the Yankees. Then we got Jansel Villarreal there, 96 out of 250 on the auto for the Houston Astros. Almost said for the first Bowmans. Nice one there for the Astros. Going over to Jason. There you go, Jason. Congrats on that. Nice PJ Marlondo there for the Marlins. All right, let me get this base moved over. We'll hop into our second to last jumbo. I'm going to do some maneuvering too. Going to move our first pile of sleeved cards to be top loaded after the break and top loaded base. That way we can start a new. Empty box there. Get these moved over. Got a Drew Thorpe here. Going over to the White Sox on the red rookie. We're going to hold that there for a second. Flip that around. Hey, Brian, you said you always skunk, right? How about a Charlie Condone auto out of 150? 99 out of 150. There we go. Told you it was coming. You just had to wait a second. Bang. That is the first Condone auto I have seen in person. And it is a nice one. My pleasure. My pleasure. I am just as thrilled to pull this as you are. I've been wanting to see his auto. I had come to believe his autos did not exist. We've done multiple case breaks, and this is the first one we've got. Absolutely gorgeous card there. Get it thrown up on a mag here. Like I said, I promise, once we get that other jumbo moved, here, actually, we can just do this. Throw that jumbo up top there. Start making our mag party longer here. can say that, Doug. You can say that. I just like making people happy. Got an Emil Morales there for the Dodgers. We've had a killer break so far, and we haven't even touched a hobby yet. I know jumbos are the one that people always love because there's more guaranteed autos, but you never know. I feel like the luck is with us today. Another Charlie there. Got a Mitch Jeb here, 176 out of 199 for the Pirates. All right. I will try my best, Steve. I'm trying to work my magic for everybody, so we shall see. Got a Julio Rodriguez there. 39 out of 199. Hey man, those hobby heroes are not to be ignored. I mean, they are just such fun cards, in my opinion. Then we've got a Joxton Garcia, 294 out of 499 for the Boston Red Sox. Nice auto there, and I know I'm butchering the name. I Googled how to say it, and now I can't remember how to pronounce it. But nonetheless, really nice auto there for the Red Sox. Going over to Joe. There you go, Joe. Congrats on that one. That is... I have to relook at the official name of it. I've been calling it... This is probably really bad, but I've been calling them the bandana design because they just look like a classic bandana. I really like those. All right, Justin. Let's see it. As I always say for everybody, I can't promise anything, but I will put it out into the universe and try my best. Four more packs, and we hop into our last jumbo here. And we've got a George Klassen auto for the Angels there. Another nice one. Going over to Sean. There you go, Sean. Crack open a couple more boxes of top loaders here. For 2 seconds, I thought I was running a top loaders. I was like, there's no way, but I forgot I have half of them stacked behind me. It is an X-Fractor. Got a Cole Fontenelle there for the Angels, 97 out of 175. Yeah, of course. Got a Christian Campbell here, 39 out of 75 for the Boston Red Sox. All right, Adrian Dale Castillo there on the red rookie for the Diamondbacks. Get this moved over. We will hop into our last jumbo of the break. Still got plenty of boxes remaining. Empty box there. That's a tough one. The anime are SSPs. I think they're close to a case hit, but I don't think they're a guaranteed case hit. And going back to Chris's question, I think it depends. I think Travis is strong enough that holding it till his pro debut when he's a rookie might not be the worst. Nice Vladdy Guerrero Jr. there out of 499, 38 out of 499. Might not be the worst decision. But like I was talking to a friend earlier, and about a similar thing. He was selling some of his cards, and he had two different deals. One that was long term and one that was right now. It's like the way I look at it is, do you really need the money now, or are you okay holding it? Because if you're okay holding it, I would probably recommend doing that. But the hard part about prospects is you just never know. But luckily, I mean, I feel like Travis is strong enough. I think him and Jack Caglione will do pretty good in the league, but you just never know. That's the risk. That's why I don't want to give like a definite answer because I don't want to be like I'm not saying you would hold me responsible, but I don't want to give you advice and then it not work out. I would hate to be the one that was like, get rid of it now or hold it, but honestly, the best thing I always say is just watch the market pretty consistently. And if you see things start to dip or see something drive up, yeah, I think the hard part with Mahomes is nobody knew. Dang. Nobody knew Mahomes was going to be gigantic. Yeah, and I'm with you, Doug. Like I said, I think holding it would be the smart thing. But just watch his trajectory and monitor his market. And if you start seeing any dips, got a Javier Mogulon there for the White Sox on the first Bowman auto. Really nice signature there. There we go. Going over to Perry. Nice one there for you, Perry. Congrats on that. I mean, I have a similar. I didn't sell any of them because he's my PC, but Trevor Lawrence's market has tanked. Cards you used to get for $300, $400 are like $50 now, which I'm happy about as someone who PCs his cards. But you just never know. I also think Trevor Lawrence might be one of those players that comes back a little bit. Dang. Got a Charlie Condone on the Hobby Stars there. I hope so. I mean, I'm not really trying to sell, so I'm happy just having them. Yeah, and sometimes it's definitely worth doing that. Just dropping it as soon as you get it, just in case, especially if it was Goodwin. You never know with Goodwin. Dang. JJ Weatherholt there. And Hansel Louise, 6 out of 75 for the Diamondbacks. I mean, another guy like that on the opposite and that I've also lucked out on, but I've seen his market tank is Chris Bryant. One of my all-time favorite baseball players, man. His when he was with the Cubs and his first Bowman was going for insane. I picked up a PSA 10 of his first Bowman a couple months back for $10. Got a Chen Wei Lin here for the Cardinals, 103 out of 250. Nice purple first Bowman auto there. There we go. Nice one for the Cards. Going over to Richard. It really is. Or he really is, I should say. He was such a star that crashed real quick. Dang, that's awesome. Yeah, I had the. He was like, I mean, not my childhood, because I was in high school when they won the World Series, but like he was one of my heroes growing up, and I had the chance to meet him at Rockies Con this year. I got that. I got a different first Bowman of his signed, and I was. It was really nice to see that he was such a nice guy. I think he really cares about the sport, and I think a lot of it, he just had a bad hand dealt to him. I don't think it's necessarily his fault. All right. Get this base moved over. We'll hop into our last four jumbo packs. Then we start in on our hobby case. Yeah, we've had some great Bazana luck. Maybe not as like I said in 2025. I haven't seen a ton, but over the year that I've been here, and he's been a big chase, pulled some massive ones. One of my favorites I pulled for he's in this break. Travis Von Epps. I pulled him a. It was Jack Caglione, Nick Kurtz, Travis Bazana triple auto. I always keep like a little mental checklist though for every Bowman product of like the top prospects, and I like check them off when I pull their autos. I always try to get like the top 5 or 10. Can check Charlie off my list now. Nice Gary Gill Hill there for the Rays out of 499, 293 out of 499. Yeah, that was a killer one. It wasn't Bazana, but I pulled a out of 5 snack pack auto as well during one of our Bowman breaks. Might be one of my favorites. All right, 2 packs left in our jumbo. I really want to pull, obviously everyone does, but I would love to pull a first Bowman Superfractor of any player. Nice Jackson Jobe there for the Tigers on the red rookie. Then we got Wayne Hoy Pond there. 235 out of 499 for the Phillies. That one going over to Perry. There you go, Perry. Congrats on that. Dang, I'm sorry, Chris. That was literally like 2 weeks before I started working here. That was the first thing I asked when I came in. I was like, can I see the 1 of 1 Ellie? Got the Kellen Lindsey there for the Dodgers. Glad it makes up for it. I've had that luck breaking before too, where I have days where I'm like, I'm just having terrible luck. And then I come back in and see someone. The biggest one was when we were training one of our previous breakers, and he pulled the Caleb Williams 1 of 1 Superfractor auto. And it was one of those breaks that just was a couple spots left, but didn't sell out by the time I went home that night. I was so bummed. Got a Thomas Segis there for the Cardinals. Not bummed that we pulled it. And luckily, I got to hand deliver it to the store. So I still got to see that beauty. All right, let me get this base moved over, and we will start our hobby journey. It feels so weird holding regular packs after doing so many jumbo packs. Empty box there. Looking for one auto per box in these. And we've got it right here. Richard Maddock there for the Yankees. That one going over to Doug once again. There you go, Doug. I believe that is your third auto of the break. Congrats on that one. Got Luis Mayer. I'm not even going to. I know I butchered that, and there's no coming back. We got a Jared Jones, 104 out of 199 on the Bowman Baseball Factory. That one going over to the Pirates. That is a nice one of those throwbacks that they didn't get signed in a previous release. That card is from 2018. Pulled a Bobby Witt Jr. of those last year. Was very excited about it. Nice one there for the Pirates. Congrats on that. Going over to Steve. There you go, Steve. It's always crazy. I still feel like I've only been here 1 or 2 months, and I've almost been here an entire year. Time just flies when you're having fun. Nice Carson Bengi there. I am with you 100%. Got a Thomas Segis, 14 out of 25 on the Rookie of the Year favorites for the Cardinals. Nice one there. There you go, Richard. Congrats on that. And we got Drew Jones here for the Diamondbacks, 134 out of 250. Nice. Dylan Cruz on the Hobby Stars. Got a Kevin McGonigal there, 140 out of 350 for the Detroit Tigers. Got a Ben Rice red rookie there. Don't worry, Tim. We still got 11 boxes left. Brian was saying the Rockies missed the bus too and hit a big auto. Got a nice Cam Caminetti there for the Braves. And Slade Caldwell. Get some trash moved over real quick. Box number 2 of our hobbies. Hey Rick, how you doing? Colorado is nice. It was nice and warm earlier today. I have not been outside in a couple hours. But it was a good temperature. Empty box there. Heck yeah. Glad to hear it. That's cool. Congrats on that, Rick. Oh, interesting. Got a Christian Campbell there for the Red Sox. Nice Kobe Mayo on the red rookie there. Charlie Condon. Interesting. Got a Javier Mogul on there. 319 out of 350 for the White Sox. Interesting. Nice JJ Weatherholt on the Hobby Stars there. Got a Ricardo Yan auto here for the Diamondbacks. Really cool signature there. That one going over to Joe. There you go, Joe. Congrats on that one. Got a nice Eduardo Quintero there. Got an orange Victor Rodriguez, 5 out of 25 there for the Dodgers. Yeah, I do love the orange on the chrome. Like I was saying earlier, there's some colors like that that really pop on the chrome and some that look better with the matte finish. Nice Travis Bazana on the reptilian there. All right, let me get these base moved over. Going to move those two top loaded in to be top loaded later piles again. Then we'll hop into the next box. Empty box there. Is there lag? Nice Jose Perdomo out of 499 there for the Braves. Okay, wild. Everybody's having that issue. I apologize. It did not show anything on my end, but got a 23 out of 75. Caleb Lomavita auto there for the Washington Nationals. Okay, cool. That one going over to Sean. There you go, Sean. Nice auto there. Congrats on that. Glad to hear it. But also, if anybody does have issues, let me know. Okay, cool. Got a couple comments saying nobody that they have not experienced it. So we'll keep going for right now. Got a nice Jack Penny here for the Detroit Tigers. 12 out of 150. Yeah, stack pack and regular packs would be awesome. All right, let me get this base moved over here. It'd be fun if they did more images like that. I know they have the grass parallel in here, which I always like seeing. Nice Paul Skeens there. Nice Adael Amador there. And we've got a Humberto Cruz 10 out of 10 for the Padres. How about that? Finally, another one to add to our mag party. That one going over to BT. There you go. Another mag. You got 3 incoming so far. This one, a nice bookend. That does happen sometimes, for sure. I've heard a couple people have better luck with YouTube signal. Hey, stranger things have happened. Got an Emmanuel Class A there, 68 out of 399. We got a Luis Morejo there for the Guardians, 68 out of 499. All right. We'll get the Cubs next. Empty box there. Here we go. A third of the way through the hobbies. Got a Jared Sunstorm there. 24 out of 125 for the Mariners. Nice Chase Mobley there. And we've got a Nate Nagkill there. Nice auto for the Oakland Athletics. Soon to be the Las Vegas Athletics. There we go. Nice one there. Congrats on that. Going over to you. Am I reading that right? Making sure. Going over to Brian. There you go, Brian. Feel like Brian and Chris tied right now for the best luck of the break. All right. Let's pull. I wouldn't even say one of you. Let's pull someone a superfractor. Got a Bishop Letts in there, 213 out of 350 for the Brewers. I'm starting to get to that point in the break where I start thinking about food. My stomach starts going rumbling. All right, let me get this base moved over real quick. Nice Roki Sasaki there on the red rookie for the Dodgers. Got a nice Jesus Tolero there, 102 out of 150 for the Dodgers. Little color match there. All right, next box. Here we go. Empty box there. Nice Steven Escovaria there for the Athletics. Got a Sean Keys there, 147 out of 150 for the Blue Jays. Nice James Wood on the red rookie there. Got a Jonathan Long here for the Cubs, 37 out of 299. Got an Eduardo Quintero there. Not yet. Not yet, Tim. Still plenty of time. We got 7 more boxes. Got a Richard Maddock. $196 out of 350. And Jack Lyons for the Rays, $232 out of 399. Yeah, I did. But nothing like, I don't think it's what Tim's looking for yet. We're trying to get him that Vladdy anime. We need an anime at all. This one right here, 10 out of 10, Humberto Cruz, Padres. You are all good. I totally understand in long breaks like this not hopping in the whole time. Yeah, of course. And we've got a J.J. Weatherholt on card auto 225 out of 499 for the Cardinals. There you go. Going over to Richard. Gonna get that one magged up. Congrats on that one, Richard. We have gotten you an auto for the A's. It's right on top. I was gonna say I can't remember the name, but it's the first one on the pile. Nate Nankill on the auto there. We are killing it this break. I appreciate y'all sticking with me. I know these dual cases are always a little bit longer, but I feel like it's been worth it. We pulled Charlie and JJ. Now we need a Jesus Made auto to round it out. But really nice one there. Congrats on that. All right, last pack of this box, and we hop into hobby number 6 halfway through. Get this base moved over. I'm going to get these top-loaded base moved over again. Keep making space for us. Empty box there. And we've got a redemption here. Says you are due for a Chrome Prospect Parallel Reptilian Orange Refractor, so out of 25, of Quinn Matthews for the Cardinals. Nice one there. Going over to the Cardinals and Richard. Guess what? That's going to be a bonus auto, because right behind that, we have a Kadeem Dia, 46 out of 50 on the auto for the Twins. There we go. That one going over to Dylan. Congrats on that one, Dylan. Got a nice Connor Norby red rookie there. So the red rookies, Chris, if you go on Topps' website, you can find out more information. I'm not saying that like I'm not about to tell you, but they will give a more detailed explanation. But what it basically is it's a card you can hold, and based on what that rookie accomplishes, Topps will give you a certain amount of fan cash, which is basically a gift card to Fanatics. If they get Rookie of the Year, you get a certain amount. If they get multiple Golden Glove awards or things like that, one of them at the end is if they accomplish all of the other things and then make it into the Hall of Fame within the first 5 years of being eligible. So it's kind of one of those cards that encourages you to long hold if you'd like. It's kind of like buyback. Yeah, I really like the idea. I've said in a couple breaks, I hope they start doing it with more products. Because, I mean, you never know. The rookies could not pan out, but it's kind of a cool incentive to try to follow their careers. Got a Jansel Villarreal there. 263 out of 299 for the Astros. Got an Emmanuel Class A there, 97 out of 125. Going over once again to the Guardians. Then we got Luis Pena here, 97 out of 199 for the Brewers. Got a Yofendry Rodriguez there. Four packs remain. Then we hop into hobby box number 7. Getting closer and closer to that finish line. Yes, you did, Tucker. Yes, you did. Right there. I know it's kind of hard to see with all the mags. First Bowman JJ Auto out of 499. Got a Hayden Alvarez here for the Angels. 195 out of 199. All right, let me get these base moved over. Yeah, you did also get a really nice redemption out of 25. Not JJ, but of another really nice first Bowman. Sneak around and grab some more top loaders real quick right behind me. So moved over. All right. Empty box there. Here we go. Nice Paulino Santana there. Yeah, my pleasure. Congrats again. Another Charlie there. And Robert Callas 64 out of 350, both for the Rockies. Got another red rookie there, Caden Dana. Nice Drew Jones here, 124 out of 175 for the Diamondbacks. JJ Weatherholt there. Got a Bo Walker there, 108 out of 199 for the Diamondbacks. Got a Kevin Castillo auto here for the Angels. That one going to be 261 out of 299. That one going over to Sean. There you go, Sean. Congrats on that. All right, let me get this base moved over and we'll hop into our next box. Down to our last 5 boxes. Let me get these sleeved to be top loaded later. Pile moved over again as well. Hey, that's better than the 20 we started out with. Means we're 3/4 of the way through. Empty box there. Got a Luis Pena auto here for the Brewers. Nice one there. That one's going over to Sean. There you go, Sean. Congrats on that. My young eyes are getting heavy. I still have 2 more breaks to do at least after this one. Okay, that's fair. It's just a little bit later there. Got a Chase Hampton 121 out of 250 for the New York Yankees. Got a 41 out of 50 Hyun-Suk Jang there for the Dodgers. Really nice one there. That one's going over to Brett. There you go, Brett. Congrats on that one. Nice Jonathan Long for the Cubbies there. And we've got a Zach Nato 7 out of 10 for the Angels. How about that? Going over to Sean. There you go, Sean. Nice one there. Go ahead and move Humberto Cruz back for a minute. Throw that one up there. We're running out of space for our mags. Good problem to have. James Tibbs there. And we've got a Fernando Cruz 66 out of 75 for the Cubs. Empty box there. Romeo Sanbaria there. Got a Caden Kendall here, 42 out of 75 for the Twins. Got a nice Joenski Noel there on the red rookie. I do have that. Luckily, these gold ones look a little bit different, but nice Nick Kurtz there. Man, I can't remember the football set. There was a football set that was so bad at that. It was Panini. Their normal base were the same color on some of them as their parallels. So you'd slow down thinking, oh, I've got a numbered card here. And it would just be like the base of the Steelers. Get this base moved over here. I agree. I agree 100%. I like a lot of their stuff. Like I did a personal break this morning of a box of Phoenix football, and man, that stuff was just killer. But sometimes they have things like that where I'm like, there's no way you thought that was a good idea. And we got a Chase Burns auto here for the Reds. Really nice one there. That one going over to Brandon. There you go, Brandon. Congrats on that one. I always love when athletes do that, when they don't just write super tiny. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything if you write over your image a little bit. I am. We got 3 boxes left plus the rest of this one. Like I said, I know this is a long break. I'm trying to go through it as fast as I can. Nice Matt Wilkerson there. I appreciate that. It's about the time I start to feel it. I think so. I think so. We moved your 10 out of 10 for a little bit. Give that Zach Nato a little bit of a display, but got a Fabian Lopez 59 out of 75 for the Marlins. After this, in case anybody's hopping in waiting, we are doing that soccer break and the Girls of Summer. Yeah, Doug, he is. There's a lot of really good big prospects in here, but I would say that JJ, Charlie, and Jesus are the 3 biggest. All right. 2 boxes left after this one. We are getting to the finish line. Almost there, friends. Empty box there. No case hits yet. Got a nice Quinn Matthews there. Got a Walker Jenkins there, 125 out of 350 for the Twins. Man, I would love a kanji the animes. I would love a kanji anime. Almost said Bowman like we weren't breaking Bowman. All right, get this moved over. Got a Seaver King 343 out of 399. Yeah, that's one of my favorite colors in the world. Is that green, like a light lime green. Got a Shohei Ohtani 138 out of 150 for the Dodgers. Nice little color match there. We got a 2 out of 25 Gary Gill Hill for the Tampa Bay Rays. Nice orange there. Now we're going over to Travis. There you go, Travis. And we've got a Slade Caldwell first Bowman auto 425 out of 499. Really nice one there for the Diamondbacks. Go ahead and get that one magged up here. That one going over to Joe. There you go, Joe. Congrats on that, my friend. We've now hit autos of 3 of the top 6 prospects in this break. There we go. Congrats again on that. All right, let me get this base moved over. We'll hop into our second to last box. Only 2 boxes remain. Empty box there. Joe, I'd say it was a pretty good D-back. It was Slade Caldwell out of 499, my friend. First Bowman auto. And we got an Esteban Gonzalez here for the Guardians. Nice one there for Cleveland. Going over to Chris. There you go, Chris. Another auto to add to your continued pile. Yeah, of course. My pleasure. Another Slade Caldwell there for the Diamondbacks. They do. They do have an embarrassment of riches. Nice D'Angelo Ortiz there. Another Charlie Condone there. Got Lucas Ramirez here, 42 out of 125 for the Angels. All right, let me get this base moved over. We'll hop into the second half of this box. Got a Manny Machado, 349 out of 499 for the Padres. And a Malcolm Moore, 123 out of 399 for the Rangers. Got a Brooks Lee red rookie here for the Minnesota Twins. All right, 3 more packs and we hop into our last box. All right, let me get this base moved over. We'll hop into our final hobby box and final box of the break. Empty box there. And here we go. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. I'm with you, Tim. I'm with you. Sometimes everybody needs a good complaint. Got a 169 out of 250 there for the Minnesota Twins. We got Corey Lewis there, 69 out of 125 for the Twins as well. Got a Tyler Locklear there for the Mariners on the red rookie. All right, let me get this base moved over. We'll hop into our last stack of the break. Got a Braylon Payne here, 97 out of 299. All right, 4 packs remain. Then we move the base out of the way and hop into a quick recap. about that to end us off? Bobby Witt Jr., 2 out of 25 on the Hobby Star Autos. That one going over to the Kansas City Royals and Jason. There you go, Jason. Congrats on that. And my last mag stand as well. Still got a couple more packs coming, but that is a nice one. Feel like that was a killer 2 cases. Got 2 big legend autos, couple big previous first Bowman prospect autos, and then a bunch of big first Bowmans. We have not seen one yet. Hopefully it is incoming. All right, last pack here. Good luck. All right, that's going to do it. Let me get these moved over, get a couple things organized, and we will do our recap. I got 2 more breaks, so I'm about to go back to back to back to back. I got a full jumbo case of soccer coming up next, and then Girls of Summer. Stretch out a little bit. All right, here we go. I'm going to try to go as fast as possible for y'all. Got Esteban Gonzalez auto for the Guardians. Gary Hill out of 25 for the Rays. Fabian Lopez out of 75 for the Marlins. Chase Burns auto for the Reds. Caden Kendall out of 75 for the Twins. Fernando Cruz out of 75 for the Cubs. Han Sok Jong there for the Los Angeles Dodgers out of 50. Luis Pena auto there for the Brewers. We got Kevin Castillo for the Angels out of 299 on the auto. Yeah, of course, Brian. Thanks for hopping in. Got a Kadeem Dia there out of 50 for the Twins. Got the Quinn Matthews out of 25 redemption for the Cardinals. Nate Nankill there for the A's on the auto. Caleb Loma Vida there for the Nationals out of 75 on the auto. Victor Rodriguez out of 25 for the Dodgers. Ricardo Yan there for the Diamondbacks. Thomas Segis there out of 25 going over to the Cardinals. Jared Jones there out of 199 going over to the Pirates. Richard Maddock there going over to the Yankees. Wen Hong Pan there, or Hoi Pan, out of 499 for the Phillies. Yeah, of course, Joe. Thanks for hopping in. Got a Chen Wei Lin there for the Cardinals out of 250. Hansel Luis there out of 75 for the Diamondbacks. Javier Mogolon there for the White Sox. Christian Campbell for the Red Sox out of 75. George Klassen there for the Angels. Jackson Garcia there out of 499 for the Red Sox. Jansel Villarreal there out of 250 for the Astros. Humberto Cruz there out of 299 for the Padres. Chase Mobley for the Guardians. Samuel Basallo out of 75 for the Orioles. Romeo Santabaria there for the Padres out of 75. Jared Sandstrom auto there for the Mariners. Engleth Urena there going over to the Yankees. Got Quinn Matthews there out of 75 for the Cardinals. Carter Johnson out of 199 going over to the Marlins. Didier Fuentes out of 499 going over to the Braves. J.J. Weatherholt out of 75 going over to the Cardinals. J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez for the Mariners out of 75. Victor Rodriguez going over to the Dodgers. Jackson Humphries out of 50 going over to the Guardians. Alex Mooney out of 75 going over to the Guardians. Peyton Ellis there going over to the Twins. Eduardo Quintero there out of 150 going over to the Dodgers. Dylan Fiend there out of 75 going over to the Athletics. Mitch Jeb Otto there going over to the Pirates. Cobb Hightower out of 100 going over to the Padres. Edlin Perez there going over to the Yankees. Aaron Estrada going over to the Orioles. And John Carlos Lara out of 75 going over to the Braves. Then we've got our mags here. Leo DeVries out of 499 going over to the Padres. Thomas White going over to the Marlins. Ronald Acuna Jr. going over to the Braves out of 50. Humberto Cruz 10 out of 10 for the Padres. Charlie Condon Blue X-Fractor Auto there out of 150 for the Rockies. J.J. Weatherholt out of 499 for the Cardinals. Zach Nato for the Angels out of 10 as well. Slade Caldwell Auto there going over to the Diamondbacks out of 499. Bobby Witt Jr. Auto out of 25 going over to the the Royals. And Travis Bazzana 3 out of 5 going over to the Guardians. Finish off with a banger. Thank you. All right, that's going to do it for this break. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on with me. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I